Welcome to Sweet Home Season 2, the apocalyptic K-drama that was full of action and left us on the edge of our seats. Season 2 was a wild ride, full of unexpected twists and turns that kept us guessing until the very end. From heart-wrenching goodbyes to jaw-dropping revelations, this season had it all. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 moments from Sweet Home Season 2 that left us speechless and, conveniently, you need to remember for Season 3. Number 10. Several original Sweet Home characters didn't make it to Season 3. The emotional stakes are higher than ever as several beloved characters from the original Sweet Home succumb to the relentless horrors of their world. One of the most heart-wrenching moments is the death of Soo Young, who tragically meets her end aboard a bus, when attacked by a newly transformed monster. This pivotal scene not only serves as a shocking reminder of the ever-present danger but also deeply impacts the remaining survivors. The episode concludes with a poignant, grieving scene where Yang-soo mourns his lost sister and Lee Eun-yu cradles Soo Young's lifeless body. That image stayed with me long after the credits rolled. Additionally, Yoon Ji-soo, a fan favorite from Season 1, does not survive the harsh realities of their new world. Her death is equally tragic, occurring as she heroically sacrifices herself to save Young-soo, highlighting her bravery and selflessness. Number 9. New characters bring fresh dynamics to Sweet Home. Okay, so while Sweet Home Season 2 definitely had its fair share of heart-wrenching losses, it also introduced some really intriguing new characters that shake things up. We're talking about everything from mad scientists to rogue survivors, each adding their own flavor to the story as adventures beyond Green Home. Some of the characters that will be coming back in the upcoming season includes Private Park Chan-young, Master Sergeant Tak In-won, who's a tough military guy dealing with the terrifying prospect of monsterization. And let's not forget Dr. Lim, the mad scientist who's uncovering some major secrets about the infection and might be somewhat responsible for the whole ordeal. By the end of Season 2, these characters are in pretty intense situations. Chan-young's heading straight into the madness at the stadium, Tak is showing signs that he might transform, and Lim is sitting on one of the biggest revelations of the season. It's going to be super exciting to see how they navigate the challenges in Season 3, bringing together the best elements from both the first and second seasons. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Number 8. Cha Hyun-soo is MIA for most of the season. Alright, let's talk about one of the biggest points of contention from Season 2, Cha Hyun-soo's absence. Despite being the lead character in the first season, Song Kang's Hyun-soo was largely missing in action this time around. This bold choice stirred up quite a bit of criticism. Fans felt that Hyun-soo's pivotal role was overshadowed by the storylines of newer characters, which made it tough for some to embrace the season's fresh direction. While the reasoning behind Hyun-soo's reduced presence isn't entirely clear, there are hints that he'll be front and center again in Season 3. After all, he's essentially the face of Sweet Home, and promotional materials have been showcasing him prominently as a key player. With his absence keenly felt, it would be a real oversight not to give Hyun-soo the screen time he deserves in the final season. His perspective could really tie things together and bring the story full circle, just as he did in the beginning. So, here's hoping we see a lot more of him when Season 3 releases. Number 7. Season 2 features a time jump to a new setting. So, let's dive into one of the most intriguing aspects of Season 2, the time jump. We skip ahead to day 337 since the monsterization began, and the survivors have found a new home underneath a nearby stadium. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. This stadium is run by the Crow Platoon, who have implemented a strict curfew and pretty much shut everyone off from the outside world. Now, the former Green Home residents are facing some serious backlash. For instance, Kim Young-soo finds himself bullied by the other kids, and Lee Eun-yu is branded a murderer for killing Chief Ji's husband, Dong Ji-ai. And here's where things get really tense. The leader of the Crow Platoon, Tak In-won, is starting to show signs of monsterization himself. Ironically, this is the same group that vowed to execute anyone exhibiting symptoms. Plus, Chief Ji seems to be hiding her monsterized son in the stadium, which adds another layer of danger. With this new safe haven on shaky ground, you can bet that Sweet Home 3 is gearing up to unleash even more chaos. Number 6. Hyun-soo becomes an experiment in understanding monsters and monster humans. Let's talk about one of the most chilling characters introduced in Season 2, Dr. Lim. This guy takes mad scientist to a whole new level. Unlike most, he sees humans as a disease and monsters as the potential cure, which is just a wild perspective. His obsession with the monsterization process drives him to conduct some seriously questionable experiments, all fueled by his own curiosity rather than any desire to find a cure. What's particularly disturbing is his fascination with monster humans, which brings him to Hyunsu. But Hyunsu isn't the first or the last test subject in Dr. Lim's twisted experiments. Even after the time jump, Dr. Lim manages to provoke a newly created monster human, Jun-il, into committing a horrific act against his own mother. Through all this, Hyunsu's experience really sheds light on the plight of these monster humans. He's able to see the humanity still trapped inside their monstrous forms, which adds a layer of sympathy we didn't expect. As we head into Sweet Home's final season, the exploration of monster humans and their shifting loyalties is bound to play a major role. How will they navigate their dual identities? That's something we definitely can't wait to see. Provided they handle it right. Number 5. Lee-kyung gives birth to a monster child. Let's dive into one of the wildest twists from Season 2, Lee-kyung giving birth to a monster child. Remember back in the first season when we found out she was pregnant? Well, fast forward, and she has a baby girl, but there's a twist. Thanks to the child's father, Sangwon, being a monster human, this little one is something special. Her growth is super accelerated, which is fascinating yet unsettling. By the time we hit the time skip, she's already presented as a young child, but somehow, she ends up taking on the form of a teenager after getting injured. Talk about a rapid transformation. But it's not just her age that's intriguing. This child has a unique power that sets her apart from other monsters and monster humans. Unlike Cha Hyunsu, she can turn humans into monsters, which raises the stakes significantly. With her growing frustration towards humanity, you can bet she's going to be a key player in the looming conflict between humans and monsters. As we move into the final season, it's going to be exciting to see how her powers unfold and what role she plays in this chaotic world. Number 4. Hyunsu killed Lee-kyung. Let's talk about one of the most intense moments in Season 2, Hyunsu and Lee-kyung's heartbreaking climax. As Lee-kyung navigated the chaos of the monster world, she found herself drowning in guilt, especially after the birth of her daughter. She was torn. Should she embrace her child or end her suffering? Ultimately, she left the little girl in Hyunsu's care, only to return when she realized her daughter appeared normal. But looks can be deceiving. Lee-kyung's fears led her to mistreat her daughter, who only wanted her mother's acceptance. The guilt consumed Lee-kyung to the point where she set her boat on fire with herself still aboard. Hyunsu, along with Eun-yu and Chan-young, tried to save her, but with no oxygen left, it seemed hopeless. In a tragic twist, when Hyunsu tried to help Lee-kyung's daughter say goodbye, she transformed into a monster instead. To put an end to Lee-kyung's suffering, Hyunsu made the heart-wrenching decision to throw her into a pit, leaving us to wonder if she truly died. While we didn't see her death on screen, there's a chance she might rise again in Season 3. It sets up an intriguing possibility for the final season. Number 3. The monsters are evolving. Things are heating up in Sweet Home as the battle between humans and monsters intensifies. Dr. Lim has been knee-deep in his research on monsters and monster humans, but it's only in the final episode that he uncovers a jaw-dropping revelation: the monsters are evolving. This raises some serious questions about what they're truly capable of. Take Lee-kyung's unnamed daughter, for instance. Her unusual powers are just the tip of the iceberg. Plus, those mysterious cocoons we've seen? They play a crucial role in the evolution of monsters. At first, characters thought that turning into a monster was the end of the line. But Season 2 flips the script with a huge twist. After becoming monsters, characters enter these cocoons and emerge as something entirely new. Neo-humans. What does this mean for our survivors? While we don't know exactly how neo-humans will fit into the next season, it's clear they're set to shake things up. Plus, one of the returning characters from Sweet Home 3 is poised to take center stage in this evolving storyline. Things are about to get interesting. Number 2. Ui Myung is actually Sangwon. Let's dive into one of the biggest twists in Sweet Home. Ui Myung's true identity. If you've been scratching your head about this character, you're not alone. Ui Myung was initially introduced as a formidable liquid monster who could possess others. In the first season, we saw him kill Payeon Sang-wook, Lee Jin-wook's original character, which made his return in season 2 all the more puzzling. But hold on, there's a bombshell reveal in the finale. It turns out that Ui Myung is actually Sang-won, Ekyun's fiancé, and MH1. He was never really Ui Myung. Confusing, right? Sang-won had vanished before the events of season 1 and offered himself to the military, hoping they'd help him find a cure for the monster outbreak. Unfortunately, Dr. Lim's obsession with his research meant Sang-won was treated terribly, fueling his resentment toward humanity. This newfound identity is sure to stir up drama in Sweet Home 3, especially as Sang-won's disdain for humans could lead him down a dark path. With all these layers to his character, we can't wait to see how this unfolds in the next season. Number 1. Eun-hyuk is alive. Get ready for a jaw-dropping twist, Eun-hyuk is back. For those who followed Sweet Home from the start, his death in season 1 was a gut punch. He chose to stay behind in Green Home as it crumbled, showing signs of monsterization, leaving fans disappointed. Fast forward to season 2, and we see Lee Eun-yu desperately searching for her brother, fearing the worst, that he's either dead or transformed into a monster. But he is something else entirely, because the finale reveals Eun-hyuk's fate in a way no one saw coming. He emerges from a cocoon, looking human but definitely not the same. What does this mean? Well, it's heavily implied that Eun-hyuk has become a neohuman, a stage in the monsterization process that adds a whole new layer to his character. With his return, we're left wondering, whose side is he on now? This thrilling development promises to shake things up in Sweet Home 3, and we can't wait to see how it all plays out. That's it for our top 10 countdown of Sweet Home Season 2's most epic moments. We hope you enjoyed reliving the excitement and drama with us. If you're as hyped as we are for Season 3, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more K-drama content and analysis. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos.